Welcome back to another video, guys. For most of you that know, I have a Blazer EV that I ended up leasing. I got rid of my Corvette. But today we're going to do a little video of what it's like to actually drive around a Blazer EV so you guys can see what it's like. How's the range? How's the room? Is it practical? How much range do you go through on a daily basis with just city driving? So we're going to go over that. Stay tuned. All right, we're starting off with 260 miles of range on the battery. We got a few errands to run. We got to run to Costco, Fred Meyer's, do some grocery shopping. But first, we need to stop at Starbucks, get a coffee, and start the day right. So we're going to stop there first, and then we're going to head to Costco. Now, of course, we've got it in sport mode, so I'm probably not going to get the best range that I would get if I was maybe in, let's say, normal mode. But we're going to see how this goes. And also, we got the heater running. It is cold here. It is currently 55 degrees out. Which is really cold outside. So we're running the heater, we're running the heated seats, we've got it in sport mode. So this is going to be a real testament of what the range is actually going to look like if you just drive your car completely normal. And of course, I've got it in one pedal driving. I am not going to touch the brakes if I don't have to. So we're going to do this the whole way to Costco and back without touching the brakes, hopefully. Obviously, got to touch the brakes to turn the car on. But other than that, I'm going to try not to touch the brakes. Can I get a venti blonde roast iced latte with soy milk, light ice, and 4 stevia? Nope, that's it. Thank you. And I'm sure most of you probably think my drink is absolutely ridiculous, but if you haven't tried it, definitely try it. It's amazing. All right, we got our coffee. We are ready to get up on the road. We do have to get on the freeway, so I will show you guys what happens to the range as soon as we get on the freeway, because it does take a lot of power away from the battery, because you are obviously going at higher speeds, which means your foot's more into the throttle, which means you're going to use more kilowatt hours on your battery. So if you want to keep the range that you have and not go through so much range, you definitely want to cruise at maybe 55 miles per hour, probably right behind semi trucks, and keep up with them, because the faster you go, the more you're in the throttle, and you're definitely going to use up a lot of that range. But like I said, this is a video of how I drive. We are not going to be driving like that. We're going to be driving my normal speed that I drive on the freeway and see how it does. All right, well, nice thing is there's a lot of slow traffic, so we're not actually going to go super fast, so that way we can keep our range down. But you can see the kilowatt hours being used right now. We're currently pretty low. All right, we're going to get on the freeway right here. All right, guys, like I said, we're driving at normal speeds. So you can see right there, we're using 37 kilowatt hours, 18, 19. We're kind of going all over the place, but we're going with the flow of traffic. We're not speeding any faster than anybody else. But yeah, so it's at 265. We probably got about maybe 2.5 miles to drive, so we'll see you at the end of the drive. All right, so we're getting out the freeway here, and we're down to 261 miles. So not too bad. We drove with the speed of traffic, so not too crazy speeding and not going too slow. So, all right, on our way to Costco now. We have officially made it. There's Costco right there. Now, I usually get there by like 10 o'clock, right when they open, hoping that there's not a huge line. But for the last few times I've been here at 10 o'clock, there is a huge line out the door for people waiting to get inside. So I thought I would show up a little bit later, hoping that maybe that would not happen. And nice thing is, we found a parking spot right here. Always nice when you pull in the parking lot and your first try, you find a parking spot. Doesn't usually happen. Very nice. And you can also see how your park job is. There is a surround view camera right there, and it looks like we actually did pretty good. So one of my favorite features right there. If you can't really see around you, pop that camera up and it'll definitely help you out. All right, let's go in Costco and get some shopping done. I really don't like Costco because it is always a madhouse. But the prices are good. Right, now to find the car. That was not a lot of fun. Just kidding. You definitely can't go to Costco without getting a Costco pumpkin pie. It's one of the best. All right. On to the next stop. We are headed to Fred Meyer's, which is in Medford. Right now we're in Central Point. So should take us a few minutes to get there. We're gonna get back on the freeway. We have 260 miles. So we're gonna see what happens to the mileage when we get to Fred Meyer's. Okay, see you there. We're gonna do a little pull right here and see how it does. No, we're not. A Ford just decided it was gonna turn right in front of me. So. It's pretty impressive. It really is impressive. I mean, you have that instant torque. There is no delay. It just it just gets up and goes. I absolutely love that feeling. It reminds me of like a theme park ride or something, like a roller coaster just taking off, which is so much fun. I love doing it, but unfortunately that took away 2 miles off of our range by just doing that. So probably not going to do that again, no matter how fun it is. Now, for those of you out there debating, should you get a gas vehicle for your next new vehicle purchase? Should you get an electric car? What should you do? Well, I mean, it really just depends on what your driving habits are going to be, and do you have access to being able to charge an electric car? Obviously, the future is everybody is headed towards electric cars, so one day we will have to conform and all drive electric cars. No matter how we feel about them, it's gonna happen. So might as well get used to it now and find a way to make it work. But I think they're saying by 2035 is when they want to have all electric cars out on the road. At least that's how California is. So I don't know if the other states are going to get on board with that, but I mean, so many manufacturers nowadays are coming out with EVs instead of gas vehicles, so they're definitely trying to push the agenda to get everybody into electric cars. So now, electric cars, I mean, obviously you have your pros and your cons. You know, the pros, you don't have to pay for fuel. You do have to pay for electricity with charging it at your house, but it's by far cheaper than getting gasoline. Gasoline is absolutely crazy right now, but you don't have to pay for very much electricity to charge your car. Not just that, you do not have to pay for oil changes, transmission fluid changes, spark plugs, spark wires, any of that stuff. You don't have to take care of for maintenance. You just have to take care of your coolants. You have to get your battery checked out every once in a while. You have to do tire rotations, get your brakes checked out. And then also a lot of manufacturers, I know Chevy does this, but they come most of the time with an 8-year, 100,000-mile warranty on the battery. So you do have that confidence knowing that you're going to be covered for a while, which is great. I mean, that's a long time to be covered. Most of us don't even keep our cars for 8 years or even drive them to 100,000 miles. So I know a lot of us, especially me, I like to go through vehicles every like 6 months or a year. So I definitely will never, ever hit the point of having to have the warranty run out. And especially with this being a lease for 2 years, I'm going to be covered under bumper-to-bumper warranty and the battery warranty the entire time. So that's a great thing about electric cars. One of the biggest cons to have an electric car is, well, there's a couple of them, but the biggest one is charging stations. Are you going to find a charging station that isn't taken up by somebody else that you need to use so you can get enough range back to get back up on the road and start driving again? Or is it going to be broken down, out of order? I know I've got a fast charger at work, and it seems like every single couple weeks it is out of order. And I don't know if it's an update that it needs constantly or what it is, but it's constantly out of order, and we're constantly having to try to figure out what's wrong with it. So That is a big con. And then also another big con, if you don't plan out your trip strategically to make sure you have enough range to get from here to the next charging station so you can continue on with your trip, if you break down, it's not like somebody can come up to you and give you a quick charge. They have to tow your car to the nearest charging spot. And like I said, hopefully it's available and someone else isn't using it, or there's not a line lined up to use it, because I know a lot of fast charger places, there's not as many available like there is gas pumps to a gas vehicle. Now we are getting on the freeway headed to Fred Meyer's, so we should be there in a couple minutes. We are down to 256 miles of range. So it's gone down a little bit, but we've driven a few miles from Costco to here. Now, pros and cons for gas vehicles. Pros, gas stations are everywhere. You can pull up to a gas station, you can fill up, you're good to go. You don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much a big pro to it. The cons, obviously mechanical failure. Warranties from manufacturers don't last as long as they do on electric cars. Most manufacturers either have like a 4-year 50,000 basic warranty, or a 3-year 36,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty. And then some of them also have a 5-year 60,000 mile warranty on powertrain, or obviously diesels can sometimes have like a 5-year 100,000, like Chevy, GMC, things like that. So obviously mechanical breakdowns are never cheap. So if something happens to a gas vehicle, it's going to be pretty expensive to fix. So you do have that. Now for me, I'm not one way over the other. I like both. Obviously, I love sports cars. I love Ferraris, Lamborghinis. Corvettes are nice. Obviously, I used to own a Corvette, owned a Supra, a Porsche 718 Cayman. Most of my cars were all gas, except for this Blazer EV that I'm driving right now, which I obviously leased. I see the pros to both ways, but for me, obviously, I don't think I would ever own an electric sports car. Granted, yeah, it'd probably be very torquey, very quick, sleek looking, which is great, but I love hearing the sound of the engine roar, the exhaust roar, as soon as you romp on it. And put your foot to the floor, and you just get on it, and you just hear just the car take off, which is awesome. Now, granted, electric cars like the Porsche Taycan, they do have a pretty cool noise to them whenever you romp on it. It sounds like a spaceship, which is kind of cool. It sounds very futuristic, but not as cool as if you hear like a Ferrari just taking off, or a V12 Lamborghini just romping on it and passing by you. Obviously, that's going to catch your head. An electric car, you're just going to be like, what was that? So, yeah, I like both for different reasons. All right, we are off the freeway, and we are headed to Fred Meyer's. It's just right over there. So we should be there soon. We're at 254 miles, which isn't bad. So I think we started off at 268 miles. We drove from my house, which is down this road a ways, all the way to Central Point, well, to Starbucks right over here, get coffee, then Central Point to Costco, and now Costco to right where we're at. So we haven't used that much mileage. So I'm actually pretty happy with that, considering I don't drive the slowest. All right, guys, we made it to Fred Meyer's. Just got our grocery shopping done, and now we are headed back home. All right, we're almost home. We're a couple blocks away, down to 250 miles of range. Groceries are doing good. Haven't been flopping around, so we'll see what we're at as soon as we get home. We made it home, and we have 249 miles of range, which is not bad at all. We started off with 268, so we only went down 19 miles, which is not bad considering we drove from here to Starbucks, then from Starbucks to Central Point, went to Costco. Costco, got back on the road, headed to Fred Meyer's, which was back in Medford, and went from Fred Meyer's to here. The only time I touch the brake pedal is when I'm turning the vehicle off and putting it in park. And then also when I'm turning it on, I did not touch the brakes other than that from here to Central Point and then back here. So that one pedal driving really works, guys. I suggest if you have a Chevy or you have a vehicle that has the one pedal driving capability, use it. It's great. I love it. It helps out with your range. Also, it's slowing down, or you can use this regen on demand right here button. Definitely helps out. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. If you like today's content, please make sure to drop a like down below. It definitely helps support the channel. Also subscribe to stay tuned for future content about my lifestyle with living with an EV, and what I like about it, what I don't like about it. And definitely stay tuned. We're gonna just give you guys my point of view on what it's like to live with an electric vehicle. And that way it can help you guys make the decision on whether you should go with one or not. So thanks guys for watching today's video, and we'll see you soon.